Hey guys, Mr. Rubo here, making another video to talk about the area of oblique triangles. So there's going to be two formulas we're going to talk about today. The first one, I have you're going to derive it in class, but we'll just throw it up here for you right now. It's going to be 1/2 A times B times sine of C. Okay, and you could switch these around. The biggest thing that needs to happen is you have to have two sides and then the angle in between. So side, angle, side. So the only time you can use this formula, you just may have to solve for some of the stuff using either law of sines or law of cosines. So let's just do a quick couple examples here. Nice thing is you can see we have A, B, and angle C. So we just go right into the formula. The area equals 1/2 times 18 times 12 times the sine of 94 degrees. We go right to our calculator and type it in, sine of 94, and we get that the area of this triangle that is made from these sides would be 107.7 units squared units. All right. Just realize though, if you're given other parts of the triangle, it just has to be two sides, so side A and side C, and then the angle in between. So you have to have one of each letter, basically. So here it's the same exact formula, but now it's just 1/2 A times C, because it's the two sides together, times the sine of the angle in between. So you go right to the calculator, multiply it out, and you get 57.5 units squared. Ooh, that's an ugly squared. Okay, so there is our first formula, and once again, this is when you are given two sides and the angle in between. Okay. The other formula, which we're not going to derive at any point, but it's one that's really nice because it's one that, when we talk about in real life, most of the time you're not necessarily going to be able to measure the angle between things, but usually we can measure all three sides, right? We can either estimate it or even take measuring tape or whatever it may be, but we can usually measure all three sides. So this formula, you can either call it Heron's formula or Hero's formula. It doesn't matter how you call it, doesn't matter what you call it. Still going to get you the area no matter what. So the formula for the area is the square root of S times S minus A times S minus B times S minus C, where A, B, and C are just the sides of the triangle. Okay, but then as you can see here, S is 1/2 A plus B plus C. Well, A plus B plus C is the perimeter, and when you take half of something, we can put the word semi in front of it. So it's the semi-perimeter. That's where the S comes from. Okay. So once again, very similar to the one above, just a matter of substituting in what we have into the formula. So I always find S first. So I'm going to do 4 plus 5 plus 7 over 2. Okay, so that's 9, that's 16, over 2 is 8. Then I go and substitute it into the area formula. So I will have 8 times 8 minus 4 times 8 minus 5 times 8 minus 7. And hopefully you can do this in your head, but it's going to be okay to use our calculator, especially when we do that square root. So 8 times 4 times 3 times 1. This triangle would have an area of 9.7. Oh, I guess 9.8 if I round correctly. And again, it's area, so it is units squared, and I should read my own directions. It does say to the nearest hundredth, which really actually doesn't change it. It would still be 9.8, but we're going to throw in that 0 just to show that I did round it there. Okay, so we'll just do a second example here just so you can see it. S equals 9 plus 13 plus 5 over 2. So when we do that, 9 plus 13 is 22, plus 5 is 27. So 27 halves, or 13.5. Because we're using the calculator, it might be a little easier to put the decimal in. So now we go ahead and type this in, or write it out. 13.5, 13.5 minus 9, 13.5 minus 13, and 13.5 minus 5. And I'm just going to make sure this extends all the way. And at this point, I'm typing that in my calculator to get my answer of, make sure you type it in correctly, that's always important, minus 5, and we have an area of about 16.07 units squared. Okay, so there you have it. There's our two formulas. We have the area when we are given side angle side, 1/2 AB times sine of C, and remember you can switch those letters around. And then we also have Huron's formula when we're given all three sides. You can use this guy, just remembering that S is the semi-perimeter of our triangle. Alright, so hopefully you enjoyed the video. Have a fantastic day.